broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Good evening, and as we're getting ready for this exciting webinar using 21st century innovations to expand Lions and Leo membership, come on in and join us, and we're going to start in about 30 seconds or less. We're so excited to have so many people logging into the webinar. This is the second of our series on Membership Mondays in May. Last week, we had such a great panel, and this week we've got a great panel as well. But fear not, next week we have 3 vice presidents of Lions Clubs International that's going to join us and be available to talk with us and to answer our questions. We're so excited about next week when Lion Doug, Lion Brian, and Lion Patty are all going to be on this webinar with us. It's 7 o'clock and our panelists are ready to go. We've been talking already and excited. And tonight we're going to talk about those 21st century innovations that are being used in Connecticut to expand Lions and Leo membership. Our guests are from District 23B in Connecticut, and under the leadership of District Governor Ev Lyons, the Lions of 23B have undertaken a number of innovations to grow their membership and turn their declining membership into positive membership growth. I'm Jerome Thompson and have the privilege of serving as the Global Action Team Constitutional Area 1 leader. I'm excited to also host the Membership Mondays in May series, and this is the third year that we've done this, and every year our panelists get better and better and better. Tonight, as we're going through, if you have a question, there's a question panel that you can type your questions into, and the staff is monitoring those in Oak Brook and the Oak Brook area because they too are working from home tonight. And we're going to have some of those read. Some of you will be called upon to ask your question live toward the end of the seminar. If you have a comment or anything you need to put in the chat box, you can type it there. The questions are going to be answered. You can also raise your hand if you'd like to engage with us in a live session toward the end of tonight. We're so fortunate tonight that we've got 3 outstanding guests. We've got Lion Cindy Daniels, who's the District 23B Leo Chair, and some exciting new ways to engage Leos for us to talk about. We've got past District Governor Dave Roberts, who's a new Voices Chair and the guiding lion for the Northwestern Connecticut Cyber Lions Club, who's got some innovations dealing with Lions Clubs and Cyber Lions Clubs and Cyber Lions branches that he's going to share with us. And then we have Lion Raj, and Lion Raj is the specialty club chair and the guiding lion of the West Hartford Lumbini Lions Club. Lion Raj has a great story to tell, having grown up in Nepal, made his way to Connecticut, and has become a valuable member of Lions Clubs International, serving in new and exciting ways. We're so excited that the 3 of them will be joining us tonight. For just a little background, it was the fall of 2019 when the district governor noticed that they were facing declining membership in both Leos and Lions. And District Governor Ev Lyons challenged these 3 individuals to step up their game, to lead them out of negative numbers to positive numbers, and to find new and innovative ways to engage Leos and Lions and those of common interest. And so that's where we're headed tonight as we're going to share their story with you. First of all, tonight, we're so excited to have Lion Cindy Daniels to join us. Lion Daniels, are you on the call with me tonight?
I am, thank you.
Thank you very much for taking your time and sharing with us concerning all the great things that are going on there in Connecticut. How long have you been a Lion, Lion Daniels?
Well, I've only been a lion for 3 years,
And
so
those,
I'm a very new lion.
but you have made such a tremendous impact in those 3 years. Let's begin with why your district wanted to start a Cyber Leo Club.
Well, we were very, very fortunate here because the technology was already in place. GoToMeeting was already adopted by our district. And I feel that it was offered to us for Leos because it's a wonderful opportunity to pull in some kids that really want to serve, but they may not have ever had the opportunity to do so. So Cyber Leo Club gave them that.
That is wonderful. If we were going to compare a Cyber Leo Club and a traditional Leo Club, what are the biggest differences there?
Well, the big differences are, of course, that when you're looking at your traditional clubs, you have school-based or you have community. And those kids are out interacting all the time with each other. With your Cyber Leo Club, basically they are sitting behind a screen. So I feel that was one of the challenges to all of us, to get them out in the community and get them interacting with other kids. The format for the meetings is the same as your traditional ones. The kids do service, they elected officers. So they look the same in that way, but providing them opportunities to be with other Leos was something that I worked really hard to have happen, and we were successful with that.
Well, when we talk about forming a traditional Leo Club that is school-based, we've got our group of prospective Leos right there in the school. How did you go about recruiting young people to serve as Leos in a Cyber Leo Club?
Well, the recruitment for Cyber Leo clubs does look very different. One of the things that we did that worked really well for us, I also advise a traditional school-based club. And we had a Leo who had been an officer, and she moved on to private school. So when I found out that I was going to be the co-advisor for the Leo Club, I reached out to her and asked her if she would consider, since she was in a private school and she didn't have access to Leos anymore, if she would consider coming to our cyber club. And she said yes. So we were very fortunate with that because she brought experience, she brought knowledge of Leos, and she brought leadership.
Mm-hmm.
And she got us going on the right step. So I think reaching out to kids that we know in private school or that we know may have left your traditional Leo setting. I'm working with a club right now in our district that's something that they're going to try doing because they're losing kids to private schools. The other group that we're targeting are the homeschooled kids because they don't have those service opportunities either. And you know, you're looking at your private school segment, and we're getting those now from word of mouth from other kids that have visited us and seen what's going on. Lions children and Lions grandchildren are another group that are joining cyber clubs.
Well, that's awesome. Help me to understand, because you've piqued the interest of all of our audience today talking about this concept of Cyber Leo Club. How would one go about forming a Cyber Leo Club?
Well, the process that we go through when we do the Cyber Leos is similar in some ways to the traditional clubs. You need a sponsoring Lions Club that's willing to sponsor you. You need an advisor, somebody that's willing to work with the club, you know, an adult leader that will help with that. And then there's the paperwork that you have to fill out. It's a process you go through, very organized. Officers, you need somebody to take that position. We were very fortunate because we had somebody that had previously been a Leo in a school-based situation that came back to our cyber club and was willing to take that role. So we were very, very fortunate with that.
Well, that is so exciting. Now, help me to understand, your Cyber Leo Club meets via GoToMeeting or Zoom or something of that nature. How often do they meet? And what's the format of a cyber meeting?
So we actually meet in our cyber club and in the school-based club where I advise twice a month. I think it's really good for the kids to stay connected and to follow up on the activities that they're working on in the service projects. We are pretty traditional in that we send out invitation to meeting. We send out the agenda beforehand so that kids have a chance to look it over. We have officers that assume officers' roles. And we are at the point now, because we've only been a club for a very short time, from December until now, of really having kids take on leadership roles and form projects and activities that they are interested in. So that's very exciting. And they report out on those as well. We also invite visitors to come to our cyber meetings. Our district governor has visited us, Ev Lyons has visited us, and we're planning for next year, and we're going to have other visitors as well.
Lyon, Cindy, you've done such a wonderful job. Let me have one last question, if you will, before we move into the next phase of this conversation with Lyon Dave Roberts. Actually, two questions. The first question is, what is the #1 success that your Cyber Leo Club has encountered or accomplished since it was formed in the last year?
Well, we have had several very successful service projects. I think that the one that I want to share is our Towels to Puppies service project. And that originated because of a need that was expressed by Fidelco Guide Dogs, which is an organization that raises German Shepherd puppies for vision impaired people. And they had shared that they needed lots of towels because the puppies need lots of baths, I guess. So the kids got really excited about that. And many Leo clubs did that, and Lions clubs got behind that as well. But the cyber kids also got involved. They worked with my school-based club in a partnership and collected over 700 towels. They also brought the whole project full circle. We took a field trip to Fidelco, the Cyber Leos, and my school-based club. Parents came with us and Lions came with us. We saw a puppy training class and the facility as well. So it was a very, very successful project. And I think the kids really gained an understanding of service. You know, what exactly were they doing for the community?
Thank you, Lyon. Cindy, will you stay around and answer some questions from our audience after we spoke with Lyon Dave and Lyon Raj?
Of course.
Awesome. And we're going to move into and talk with past District Governor Dave Roberts, who's the new Voice Chair, and he is also the guiding lion to the Northwestern Connecticut Cyber Lions Club. Welcome, Lyon Dave. Lyon Dave, welcome.
Thank you, past International Director Jerome.
Oh, just call me Jerome. You know, all of us Lions just put on our pin the same way. And
That's true.
I'm just so proud you're here with us this evening and going to talk about this innovation that the Lions of Connecticut have formed a Cyber Lions Club and also then a Cyber Lions branch. But before we get to the branch, let's talk about the club. Why was it that your district wanted to form a Cyber Lions Club?
Well, as you mentioned at the beginning of this webinar, in our district, we had seen some declines in memberships in certain clubs. And we wanted to be able to turn that around and have positive membership growth. And under the leadership of our International Director, Mark Lyon, and our District Governor, Ev Lyons, and our Vice District Governors, Heidi Zachara and Ed Fenton, we wanted to give people the ability when we identify good people to be Lions to say, yes, I want to join Lions. And not everybody has that ability to say yes for various reasons, whether it's work commitment or others. So I had actually transferred back home here. I used to live for 23 years in California, and I had started a Cyber Lions Club out there, and I began talking about the concept of a Cyber Lions Club. So our district governor said, I'm going to challenge you and my cabinet to launch a Cyber Lions Club here in our district by the end of this Lions year.
Well, let me ask this question, and that is, what is the difference in starting a traditional Lions Club and starting a cyber club? What steps did you take to start the cyber club?
So I think any Lions Club, when you're trying to start one, you have to have people that are energetic, that are passionate about Lionism, about serving their communities and helping others, and that really recognize Helen Keller's quote that alone we can do so little, together we can do so much. And by finding the ability of people that wanted to be Lions but didn't really have that ability. So we began by trying to find somebody that would like to be a president for a new Lions Club. And it happened to be somebody that used to belong to Lions, but had drifted away for a while. And they were now a senior citizen, and they said, I am interested in joining a cyber club, and I am interested in being the president of a Cyber Lions Club. And since I'm the New Voices chair, we're trying to encourage all types of new voices. And I'm just thrilled that Lion Cindy was with us tonight, because she's truly a new voice, been a Lion only 3 years, already a district leader. But when you start a cyber club, you've got to find people that understand it's not like a traditional Lions Club where you have set meetings and set meals and you do things that way. This is a different way of operating. So we began, and the steps really we started was we first identified who could be the president. And the district leadership team asked me if I would be the guiding lion for 2 years because I had experience starting a cyber club. We then began looking for people that we thought would be good members. And we talked to people. We talked this up in the district. We put it in our publications. We actually purchased an ad in a holiday newsletter that went around this region. And one of the things you have to do is decide what the boundary is. And in our case, we decided that this Cyber Lions Club was going to encompass the entire district, which is 2 counties in Connecticut. It's Litchfield County, which is fairly rural or semi-rural, and Harford County, which is semi-rural and urban. And so we thought it was going to span the entire district. You need a minimum of 20 members to start any club, whether it's traditional based, specialty based, or cyber based. And we thought if we could find 20 members, we could launch this club. And we were thrilled that we quickly got to the 20 members. We chartered on January 29th of this year. And as of today, we have 28 members of this club. One other innovation tip that I'll give your listeners is that there is something that the leadership team gets every year, and it's a list of people that have been Lions but no longer are Lions. And you can look at that list, and one of the things that we did was call some of these people that were more recent Lions and left, whether it's because of work they left or change in family status or whatever it was, the reason they left. We called and said, hey, we're forming a cyber club that expands the entire Hartford and Litchfield County region. You don't even have to live in this area. You just have to be passionate about Connecticut. Would you like to join this club? We wanted to give these great people that wanted to serve the ability to say yes to membership. So I think those really are the steps. Find a good president, define your boundaries, look for people that you think would be good Lions but may not fit the traditional model. Being in Connecticut here, we have people that commute down to New York City to work or to live, and they spend their weekends here in Connecticut. It's a great recruitment pool of people for a Cyber Lions Club.
Lion Dave, you're so passionate, and I just love your passion. And I know that you're excited about this cyber club. Just a quick question concerning your district. What kind of support did you get from your district in forming this club? Because a lot of times traditional clubs are a little threatened by people prospecting and bringing in Lions that's maybe lives in their community but not engaging in their club.
Well, district buy-in, multiple district buy-in is critical. And I think whether you're talking about an international director like Mark Lyon or a district governor like Ev Lyons, they knew that we had to clearly communicate that we were not competing for the same people to be members. We were looking at people that weren't Lions that we thought would be good Lions, but just didn't have the ability to say yes yet. And those are the types of people we wanted to find. So our district governor, every zone meeting, every club visit that he has done, he has educated people on the cyber concept so they can be comfortable. We launched the Cyber Leos Club first. We've launched the Cyber Lions Club second, and soon we're going to be talking about a cyber branch. And so that district buy-in is so important. And I've been advising other people because we're the first Cyber Leos Club in all New England, the first Cyber Lions Club in Connecticut. We've been advising other people on starting cyber clubs, and we tell them the first thing you do, you need your district and multiple district buy-in to have their support because you want them behind you when you're out there recruiting new members.
Lion Dave, let's jump right over to cyber branches from that mention there that you had. Tell us briefly, what is a cyber branch? How many members does it take to start a branch? And why would a club even consider having a cyber branch?
Well, that is a great question. So first of all, in Lions, you can have a branch anytime you have 5 or more Lions. And sometimes getting to that threshold of 20 for a club is difficult for people. So starting at just 5 is much easier. And you can form a branch Lions Club with 5 members of Lions. And a cyber club is just a different way for them to meet, whether it's through virtual means, whether it's through electronic means, telephone means. We've been recruiting people in their mid and late 80s that don't even have computers. They don't even have cell phones. They have wall phones or princess phones. I was joking the other day with somebody, I had not seen a princess phone in decades. And but some people still use those former forms of land telephones hooked to walls or tables. But a cyber branch club, we had not only my club just launched a cyber branch at our local senior center because we had people that couldn't drive at night, they couldn't get into the facility, and they wanted a more convenient place. And we said, well, you come to the senior center every week for either breakfast or lunch. Why don't we have a branch club there? And then another club, the Watertown Lions Club, which has close to 60 members, they had some great volunteers that weren't able to say yes to joining the membership of Lions because they either worked outside the area, they couldn't get to their luncheon membership meetings that they had. And so they decided they had 6 people that wanted to join their club, but couldn't join the traditional club. So they set up the Watertown Cyber Lions Branch Club. And it's a new group we've just launched. Past District Governor Dan Whitty's been intimately involved in this, as has Zone Chair Sunny Olami. And it's just great to see people be able to not only serve that community, but be members of Lions, support our foundation, support our initiatives, and say we want to join the world's largest service organization.
Lion Dave, that is great. And we're going to have to stop right there, and we're going to move over to Lion Raj. But will you hang out with us? Because we've got a lot of questions rolling in already about cyber clubs, cyber branches, cyber Leos, and just wait till they've heard from Lion Raj. Will you hang out with us? Lion Raj. Awesome. Lion Raj comes to us by way of Nepal. Lion Raj Sharista is the District Club Specialty Chair, and he's a member of the Hartford County Everest Centennial Lions Club. And he's been very active in our association. Welcome, Lion Raj.
Thank you very much.
How are you doing this evening?
Excellent.
You know, we've got a lot of questions coming in, so we're going to ask a few questions, and then we're going to open it up to our audience, which is very engaged tonight. Can you tell us briefly, what is a specialty club specialist or district club specialty chair, and what are your duties?
Well, Lions Club's specialty club program was designed to create clubs in which members share common interest or passion, allowing them to connect with one another on a deeper level because they are from the same background, similar profession, similar ethnic group. So they may share a hobby, profession, culture, common cause, or life experience. And specialty clubs can be culture-based, profession-based, life stage-based, cause-based, or sports Lions club. And the primary duty of a specialty club chair is to look for communities that are not being served and to see if Lions can serve them by starting a new club in diverse communities. Thank you.
Oh, that's great. If I understand right, a traditional club is going to meet the needs of a community that is geographically based, whereas a specialty club is going to meet the needs of a group who are defined by their common interests or their commonality, whether that's profession or sports or ethnic background. That is such a novel idea, and I'm so proud that our past director, Khatan from Nepal, brought this to the board, and we've brought it forward. It's really been a breath of fresh air for the Lions of the world and the Lions of North America. And I understand that you've been very instrumental in helping to form the West Hartford Lumbini Lions Club. Tell us about that new club and its service to its community.
Mm-hmm. Let me first tell you about Lumbini, the name of the Lions Club, West Hartford Lumbini Lions Club. Lumbini is the ancestral home of Lord Buddha in Nepal, who flourished Buddhism. Lumbini has a very special meaning. So we were so pleased to name this newest club after this shrine back in Nepal. That's the background. And I played an important role to form this newest Lumbini Lions Club in West Hartford. I saw there are about 3,000 people, Nepalese American, live in West Hartford and Brantford and all over Connecticut. They have common interest, common cultural background. They are from same or similar ethnic background. So I saw them that they are kind of looking for a kind of Lions Club or some kind of organization where they can serve their community in an organized way or a systematic way. So I thought, why not a Lions Club? So I sat together with some people who could lead the organization, lead the club? And they said yes. And then I started the new club, West Hartford Lumbini Lions Club, with 28 dynamic members. Thank you.
Oh, thank you very much. And so forming a specialty club is very similar to forming a traditional club in that you go out, you find 20 members, and these just happen to have all the same common interest. What do you find is the most challenging part of starting a specialty club?
Challenges of starting a specialty club or traditional club, I think, are the same, because the most difficult thing is to find someone who can lead a club. Find someone who can lead a club as a president or as a secretary. That's the most challenging thing. People want to contribute. They want to participate in community services, but they don't want to take responsibility. I have a story right here in Connecticut, in another city. In Branford, in Connecticut, I already had 20 to 25 people who are interested to join the Lions Club, but nobody wants to be president. Nobody wants to be a secretary. That's the problem. That's the challenge. And another challenge or kind of problem is people are kind of scared at what it takes to be a Lions Club member. For example, money, responsibilities, time, amount of involvement, and things like that. However, I don't see there are challenges that we cannot overcome. Challenges can be overcome. And my job as a specialty club chair is to help guide them to see that and to tell them that challenges can be overcome and that new Lions Club can be very successful. Thank you very much.
Oh, well, thank you. Now, in a traditional club, a lot of times those who are building the club go out into the community, they talk with the businessmen, they invite them in. When you're forming a specialty club, whether it's ethnic-based or interest-based, how do you go about canvassing or finding members to invite in, and how do you talk with them?
In my experience for last couple of decades, I was involved in many different kinds of organizations and clubs, JCs, Rotary. I find that in every community, every group of people, there are some people who are playing a leadership role, lead role. Someone is a center of influence. Someone can tell people what to do, and they listen to the leader. So, as a club organizer, I look for people who are kind of center of influence, who can lead people, who is listened by people in the community. That's what I did. I found about 3-4 people in that community, and then I sat together with them many times, 6, 7, 8 times, had a cup of coffee, and I invited them to my house, had lunch, and I had a PowerPoint presentation from the LCI website, and then they gathered 28 people in one place, and that's how I actually formed a club.
Lion Raj, we've been talking about innovation. You know, the Cyber Leo Club, it was an innovation. The Cyber Lions Club is a cyber branch and innovation. But I think the last thing you said right there is the biggest innovation that I've heard all evening, and that is you invited prospective members into your home for coffee, for a snack, or for a meal, so you could talk about Lions Clubs International. It's all about the relationships and all about the people, and you're doing such a wonderful job there. Let me ask you very quickly, because we need to move to questions before we run out of time, is what jump started this in Connecticut? how did you get the interest of everyone in your district to begin to form specialty clubs?
Excuse me, how did I begin?
Well, tell us about the seminar that you hosted to introduce all the
Oh, okay.
Lions of your district.
Yeah, that's interesting. When we were starting the new Lions Club, West Hartford Lumbini Lions Club, we reached out to the head organizer, LCI Specialty Club Coordinator for Constitutional Area 1 from San Francisco, California, PDG Rajan Thapa, and asked if he could join the charter night of newest club, and also to host a seminar for New England Lions Specialty Club Seminar. PDG Dave Roberts, who is with us tonight, and PDG Rajan Thapa, they sat together. They had previously served together in California, where PDG Dave chartered newest Nepalese Lions Club in San Diego. That seminar was very fruitful and well attended. The participants saw that there are different avenues of opportunities to start specialty clubs. I think the seminar has broadened their knowledge about starting new specialty clubs. Some participants have already started to do research on starting new clubs, including District 23A and 23C in Connecticut, as well as in Massachusetts, Lions in Massachusetts. So this was very fruitful.
Thank you so very much for your insight. You've done a beautiful job tonight explaining about specialty clubs and talking about the innovations and how that we as Lions can build relationships within common interest groups. You know, the Lions of Connecticut have been very, very busy in a lot of different areas as they're expanding our footprint of service, because membership is not about numbers. Membership is about expanding our footprint of service into new communities, some of those communities geographical and some of those because of a common thought or common bond between individuals. And now I'd like to throw our conversation back to the Oak Brook area while staff shares with us some of the questions and recognizes some of the individuals who have questions. Lion Christie, Lion Richard, Lion Karina, are you there? Can you help us?
Yes, sir. This is Lion Richard. So for PDG Dave, a common question that's being posted in the question box is regarding dues. How much do you charge for your cyber club dues? And do you also charge the same rate for district and multiple dues?
This is Lion Dave Roberts, and the answer is that we do charge the same rate. So your dues have to cover both international, multiple district, and district. But one of the things that we find in telling people and inviting them to become Lions is that we keep our dues to a minimal level, so that is not a roadblock to them becoming a member. So yes, we charge basically the same rate. We have the expense of purchasing the seat on GoToMeeting or on Zoom, and those do take cost as well as mailing and things like that.
But Lion Dave, one of the benefits is you don't have to build in the cost of a meal or the cost of a meeting place, and so that reduces the dues some, doesn't it?
That is true. That does reduce the cost. And another thing, and when Lion Raj was talking, Richard, people sometimes say, and as the new voices chair for Connecticut, it's a lot of times people don't recognize really who does live in your communities. And Lion Raj has already started 2 Nepalese clubs in Connecticut, where only 3,000 people live from Nepal, 3,000 people from Nepal, and we're starting our third Nepalese Lions Club here. We have other communities that we are looking at going forward. We have a lot of people from Puerto Rico that live here, a lot from South America and Africa that have moved here to Connecticut in the last 15 to 20 years. These make prime communities to go and ask to become a lion. They've seen lions back in their home, whether it's Nepal or whatever country they happen to come to America from, but they see these other places where lions are doing great work and they want to be involved with it here.
Thank you, Lion Dave. And Cody has typed in a question for Lion Cindy, and that is, do your Cyber Leo clubs participate in district or multiple district meeting with traditional Leo clubs?
Yes, they do. We had a midwinter conference, and the one day was, there were many days, but one day was devoted to Leo activities. And we, of course, because we're the only Cyber Leo club right now in Connecticut, we were interacting with your traditional community-based and school-based. And they also had an opportunity to exchange ideas. And I think that the sharing also focused a very positive light on the Cyber Leo type format as well. So yes, we do. And there is also an opportunity, because I've worked really hard to have this happen. The traditional school-based club, which I also advise, has been doing a lot of activities with the Cyber Leos. And I just think that's a very positive thing. Our president of our cyber club said to me, you know, Mrs. D, if we don't interact with traditional Leo clubs, all they're going to be is a face behind a screen. So they really need to do that. And I totally agree with her.
That is awesome. Thank you. Lion Richard, do we have other questions, or Lion Christie?
Hi, PDG Jerome, or PID Jerome. This is Christy, and we do have a question, a couple of questions actually, from PDG Ken Ibarra from MD4. I am going to unmute you now, PDG Ken.
Good evening.
Hello,
from sunny
Ken.
California.
How are you doing this evening?
Hello, Jerome.
Thank you very much.
I'm doing good. I'm doing good.
What question do you have for the panel?
Well, I had a question for Lion Cindy. I too am a Leo advisor, and I just want to get an idea as to how much involvement does she have as far as coordinating and planning, or does she just stand back and act as an advisor? Just give me a level of her involvement with these kids. Most of them are high school kids, or might even be middle school kids. And then I also had a question for PDG Dave.
All right, well, thank you very much for that question. That's a very good question. So my school-based club is middle school. And because the Leo Club was brand new, as the middle school kids went off into high school, they came back and met in that school-based setting. The Cyber Leos also are pretty young. We have 2, maybe 3 now. Yes, 3 Cyber Leos that are high schoolers. My level of involvement is, I think it's organizational. We honor their ideas. Dave Roberts is the co-advisor for this cyber club. We open up the door for them. We do suggestions, but we do honor their ideas. My president, the president of our cyber club, she's a phenomenal leader. She can send out the agenda to everybody. She'll send out the invite to meeting, and she runs the meeting. She totally runs it. She welcomes all our visitors. She welcomes all our Leos, and she kind of sets the tone. She also can organize a service project. Wonderful. Does that answer your question? I mean, I just feel so.
Yeah.
to have
No,
the
that's,
kids.
it's good. It sounds like you let them, take care of things, and because some advisors sort of control things, but the kids really like their independence in making those decisions. Thank you.
I think, can I just add one thing?
Absolutely.
Yeah, I think that, our job, my job as an advisor and also as the Leo chair, is to provide leadership opportunities to kids. And also to put those kids, offer them those positions because we see those leadership qualities in them. And if we see those leadership qualities in them, the other Leos will also. And that's what I like to happen. And I feel it is happening.
Thank you, Lion Ken, and thank you, Lion Cindy. What a great exchange of the involvement of Leo advisors. We sure appreciate that. What else do we have in the Oak Brook area that we might be able to address?
So we have a question from Lion Polly for Lion Dave. How does your Cyber Lions Club determine your service projects?
So we launched again in January, and for this first year, I sat down with the club president and the club secretary and treasurer, and we came up with monthly themes because our members don't all live near each other. And of course, as the pandemic hit, it really became important to have service projects that we could do in each community under the CDC guidelines. So we decided for the initial 6 months of the club that we would choose projects around the 5 global causes. So Vision, we do the eyeglass collection, and we have joined with the Leo's clubs in doing eye screening before the pandemic hit. Under childhood cancer, we did collections of toys and games and books and stuffed animals, gathered over $3,000 worth of items that as soon as the pandemic all clear has been given, we are going to be delivering to Connecticut Children's Medical Center. Environment was just done last month for April and Earth Month. And in our own communities, we did cleanup projects. We had wanted to do it together and pick an area that really had a need for that, but we decided that we would do that individually based on family units. Around hunger, we are doing a food drive in the fall, working with some traditional clubs. It's actually not only a multi-club, but it's a multi-district hunger service project. And then under diabetes, we have decided that we are going to be sponsoring kids to a camp here in Connecticut. So we chose that as our service entities. And you have to remember, many of our members are, this is a retiree club, are 80 plus in age. So we have to pick things that are easier in service for them. And it's interesting that they ask this question because sometimes you have to find the project that meet the members. We have a few members that just like to independently do projects at home. So we've been working on thinking of you cards that we've been mailing to shut-in seniors during the pandemic. And some of our Cyber Lions have been able to do that, as well as our Cyber Leos through Lion Cindy and both the Leo's clubs you're hearing about. So those are the ways we've done service going into the new year, starting in September, depending on where we are with the pandemic then. Our club is actually creating different ideas that we want to do for service, but really we let the members decide that. And as the guiding lion for this cyber club, I think value is to give them thoughts on things they can do, and then they can pick the projects that they want to work on. Just one other thing we just did, I mentioned earlier, we did a fundraiser for the Lion Low Vision Center, because this is something that really touches retirees and seniors. It's an organization here. Each of the districts in Connecticut have a Lion Low Vision Center organization, and they provide aids and resources to people that have low vision. And so we decided as a new club that we would do a fundraiser, and we raised a little over, I think, $220 our club raised, which we thought was a great start for a brand new club, just learning about this. And we actually talked to the members about the needs and what this organization really had. And then people made commitments of dollars to that fundraiser.
That is awesome. Other questions?
Yes. Hello, Director Jerome. This is Karina.
Hey, Karina.
I have a question. It's a two-pronged question. It's the same for both Lion Cindy and Lion Cindy from Costa Rica. Laura Fernandez. She asks, how do you engage the Lions Club, a traditional Lions Club, to sponsor a Cyber Lions or Leo Club? How did you convince them?
Well, I co-advise the club, the Cyber Club, and actually it's Lion Dave's Barkhamsted, Connecticut Lions Club that agreed to sponsor us. So they had been in the loop, because I'm sure Lion Dave had been talking about this opportunity and, you know, that we were making history. So that's how this one got sponsored. But as I'm going out now into the district and talking to different groups, and basically I'm just explaining what a Leo Club is, but I'm also explaining the outreach of this Cyber Leo Club to the homeschool population, to the private school population, and to all those kids that don't have an opportunity to be Leos. Just another way so that we can get service out there for kids. And, you know, they're listening. Have a little bit of hesitation about the vehicle, you know, the GoToMeeting, the technology. But I always say to them, you know, the kids totally know how to work out the glitches. So there's really nothing to be afraid of. I just let them do it.
Thank you, Lion Cindy.
Karina, this is Lion Dave, and just to tag on, when this first got started, our district governor really wanted to start a Cyber Leo Club. He's just, being a former educator, he's just really big on the Leos program. And so it was really important to him. And just so your listeners know, to be a sponsor, basically the sponsoring club pays a small fee to Lions Clubs International, and they provide or find the advisors. And I had offered to be a co-advisor with Lion Cindy because we thought we are a good match for each other. She really has the Leo and the kids perspective, and I have the Lions perspective, but I also have 6 kids. And we thought we'd be a good match for each other. And so I went to my club, the Barkhamsted Lions Club, which was founded in 1966. And I said, we've never had a Leo's club in this community. And we all have kids that want to be Leos. Why don't we try to start this cyber club, and we can go across communities, because the communities are so small here. We share high schools, we share middle schools. And so the concept really worked for us.
Thank you, Lion David. It's important information that our audience wants to know. Thank you.
What other questions do we have there?
Director Jerome, we actually do have a question from Lion Suzanne. Lion Suzanne, you're unmuted.
Hello, Lion Suzanne.
Hello.
Hello,
We
Lion.
can hear you.
We can hear you. What's your question for us?
My question this evening is, what type of service do cyber branch clubs have when they're, considering to be a Lions Club? So how do you promote that in your community, the type of service that club might do to engage and encourage individuals to join?
Lion
If
Dave?
it's okay, I'll answer that. Yeah, this is Lion Dave, and I'm a passionate believer in branches, and we actually have two right now that we've talked about, a traditional branch and a cyber branch. And our cyber branch in Watertown is actually going to be doing Watertown Lions Club service projects. They just won't be attending their membership meetings. They'll have their own, the branch will have their own president, secretary, and treasurer, and they'll have a liaison to the Watertown Lions Club's board of directors. In Barkhamsted, in the Barkhamsted Senior Center Club, they will also support the traditional Barkhamsted Lions Club, but they also have other interests for seniors, such as I mentioned, the making the Thinking of You cards. They're making masks right now, the personal protective equipment mask for people. And so what's good about a branch can support the traditional club that sponsors them, or a branch can do their own activities. It's really up to the branch and the members of that branch and what they want to do. My other thing that the Barkhamsted Senior Center is interested in is really collecting food for people that have food insecurity. And so we're going to be doing a food collection program at our senior center, as well as the Barkhamsted Senior Center branch is going to be supporting the Lion Low Vision Center, because many of our senior center members actually get services from the Lion Low Vision Center.
And you know what that brings us to? It brings us to 5 minutes of. We've been at this 55 minutes. Time flies when you're having such a good time. Thank you so very much to Lion Cindy, Lion Dave, Lion Raj, as we have really explored these three areas tonight. And we're so excited about the innovations that you have going on. We're also excited about next week, when we're going to be joined by by Vice President Doug, by Vice President Brian, and Vice President Patty. All three of them are going to be here to share with us their vision of how the Lions emerge from a COVID crisis, what a new norm looks like, but most importantly, to answer the questions that the Lions of the world have for them. We're so excited. Join us at 7 o'clock next Tuesday night. Go ahead and register for that. You'll find that registration on Facebook. Those who have registered tonight will get that link sent to them along with the recording from tonight's. And I want to give a special thank you to our audience, because we could not do this without you. You have some of the very best questions, and we're so excited when you engage with us. I want to thank the staff, because the staff is working at night, working from home to support the production of this webinar and to help us in Constitutional Area 1 and in Constitutional Area 2 to find new and innovative ways to serve, to form clubs, and to lead. And most of all, I want to thank our panelists tonight, because they've done such a wonderful job. Lion Cindy, Lion Dave, and Lion Raj. And so until next week at 7 p.m., go out there and find a way to safely serve. Thank you very much for joining us this evening.